Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jen, and yes, you guessed it, this is another weekly grocery haul, and yes, it is from Aldi. The entire grocery haul is from Aldi, and I will let you know how much I spent in total at the end of the video. If you have any guesses, put it in the comments. I will show you my receipt at the end, so stay tuned for that. And I will go through my menu plan as I go through the groceries for this week. So let's get started. We'll start over here with my produce. I got a small little watermelon, and when I cut this up, this is the perfect size to put for usually with dinner. I will cut it up, and this will be one of our sides, and it's the perfect for our family. And they have been good. The last few we've gotten from Aldi have been good. So that I did not get strawberries this week. My kids really wanted strawberries, but they all looked not great. So I didn't get strawberries. We still have lots of apples left from last week, and we still have a whole thing of oranges left, mandarins. So they have that to snack on as well. And I did get some bananas. I only got one thing of bananas this week because my kids in the past few weeks have been going through the bananas like crazy. And then last week, not so much. So I only got one bunch this week, and we'll see how it goes. I did get some sweet potatoes this week. I am going to make sort of like a Korean beef bowl where I'm going to saute up some ground beef. I'm going to put dice these up really small, sweet potatoes, add that in, some zucchini, some of the coleslaw. You'll see the coleslaw mix. I'll put that in there as well. And I put a little bit of teriyaki sauce, a little bit of soy sauce, and I put that over white rice, and it is really, really good. Not to mention it's pretty healthy. So we're going to have that this week. I got some of these little grape tomatoes. My kids do like those just for snacking, so usually I just buy those just for snacking. Together with the seedless cucumbers, I cut them up. Usually I'll cut these up and the tomatoes, and they're just either a side with dinner or lunch, or I'll just cut them up and have them in the refrigerator, and the kids will just eat them for snacks. I got some romaine hearts this week, and they actually look pretty good. I do have a salad on my menu plan this week. I'm going to do barbecue chicken salads. So usually I just roast some chicken with some barbecue sauce, and then I'll make a salad with, just the basics: lettuce, some tomato, some cucumber, some cheese. If I have garbanzo beans, which I do in my pantry, so I'll probably add those as well, and just make kind of a healthy salad. In the coleslaw mix, and like I said, I'm going to saute this up this week with the Korean beef bowls. So I'm going to put that. This is really good to saute if you're going to make like a lo mein, or you want to make like your own egg rolls, or to add in any kind of like a Asian style saute. Just saute this up with a little bit of oil, and you could add some soy sauce. I have a little bit of teriyaki sauce or Japanese barbecue sauce, and put it in there. It's really, really good. Some zucchinis, have those on hand for sautés for if we do fried rice. I'm going to put those in the Korean beef bowls as well. So that's for that. I have some carrots this week. I am going to be making, I'm going to make a batch of some chicken noodle soup to have on hand. Just, if you want it for lunch, or if the kids would rather have that over something else I'm making for dinner. I'm going to make a big batch of chicken noodle soup. And I have some avocados, and I always just have avocados on hand, like I said, for salad, avocado toast. Sometimes when I do like the Asian bowls, I'll cut some of that up and put that in there as well. And I have some green onions back here. I always like to have those on hand. I put those in any kind of stir fry, any kind of fried rice. If I make tacos, I always like to have those on hand to put in there as well. So that's always something that I usually always add to foods, just to give it that little extra flavor. And some bell peppers. I am still going to make that chili. I still have not. We opted for tacos this week over the chilies, so hopefully we will get that in this week. So I got some peppers for that. And a bag of onions, and that's just to have to season. I usually put onions in basically everything that I cook. We'll come back down here. Bread for the week, I got 1 loaf of Italian. We still have 3/4 of our previous loaf left. I got some brioche buns. We're going to do some sloppy joes this week. Some flour tortillas, and like I said, I always have these on hand. Just to have on hand if the kids want a quesadilla, if we want to just have to make something a wrap instead of a sandwich. Tacos, just, basically any kind of ground beef, cheese. It's just always good. I always have these as in a staple in my pantry because you can pretty much do a lot with those. And I got this rustic Italian boule, I think is how you say it. I had this once before, and it is really, really good. And it's a very simple ingredients as well. So I got that again this week to have. And some cheese. I was running low in the cheddar, so I did pick up 2 blocks of cheddar. I made macaroni and cheese last week, so I kind of depleted my cheddar inventory. So I had to restock a little bit of that. Some chocolate chips. I always like to have those on hand as well, just for, if I'm making pancakes or if I decide to make some kind of a granola or anything like that. If I want to make like some kind of, candy for the kids or whatever. I always like to have the milk chocolate morsels. I did get these chocolate and vanilla cupcakes. They were $2 off, so I think I paid like $1.79 for those. So that was a little treat for the kids. And as you can see, I think like half of them are almost gone. They grabbed those as soon as I walked in the house. I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but the butter was on sale for $2.99, which is pretty cheap for butter. So I picked up 3 packs of that because in my house, butter will never go to waste. So I got a lot of that. And I got some sour cream. I always like to have sour cream on hand. You can pretty much do anything with that. So I always like to have that on hand, whether it's for tacos, for chili, making a dip. My kids will just use that as a dip for certain things. So sour cream is always like a staple I have in my refrigerator as well. I got some more of the honey vanilla yogurt for the kids. And I got some of this non-fat Greek yogurt. For my husband and I, we're going to try to make some of like the chia pudding. And we're going to try to do some the oats, the overnight oats. Haven't done that yet. And so we're going to try to do something maybe a little healthier, see if we like it. So I got some of that to try that. And then back there, of course, we got some half and half for coffee, some whole milk for the kids. Some chocolate milk is a little treat for the kids. I got some diced tomatoes, some chili beans, and some black beans just to have for chili. Black beans I like to have on hand if, we're going to just do rice and beans, or if we do tacos or anything like that. I always like to have some stocked in my pantry. And then, of course, some chicken broth. I have 2 things of chicken broth in my pantry already. I'm going to do some soup, so I grabbed another one of those. I got a big thing of rolled oats for the overnight oats that I'm going to try to make. Some ditalini noodles. When I got them last time, the kids really liked them in the soup, so I got them to try it again. See if, to have that on hand as well. Like I said, I'm going to make a big pot of that just to have to munch on during the week. Some vanilla extract I needed, I was out, and some cumin I needed as well. And I got some apple juice back there for the kids, and I had one of my daughters with me, so she wanted some strawberry lemonade, so we got that. And we got some cane sugar, and usually I use cane sugar for all of anything I bake, anything I use sugar for. That's just my plain sugar that I use for everything, and I just feel it tastes better, so I got that. I got some freeze-dried strawberries. Kids like to put that on their yogurt, so I got some of those. I picked up some of these hash browns. These are really good. I don't see them a lot, but when I do, I try to pick them up. When you make these in the air fryer, they are really, really good. I don't know if you've ever eaten McDonald's hash browns, but they are really, really close, and they taste really good, especially if you crisp them up really good in the air fryer. It does take some time. You really have to cook them properly for them to taste good, but if you do, they're really, really good. For meat this week, I got ground turkey for sloppy joes, and I got some ground beef here, and that's for the cream beef bowls. And I'm not sure what else I had on for beef. I can't think offhand. But I mean, ground beef will never go to waste. We'll always use it for something. And then chicken for the, we're going to do some fried rice this week. I'm going to do the barbecue chicken salads, and then I'm going to use a little bit of it for the soup as well. And then salmon. Usually what I do is when I'm making my menu, I will ask the kids. Each of the kids will tell me something that they want to eat next week. So one of my daughters wanted salmon with spinach. So I got some salmon. And then for frozen veggies, I just picked up some corn, some green beans, and then 2 bags of broccoli. And then they had these little spring chicken nuggets. I don't buy them that often because usually I'll just make my own. But they looked fun, and I thought, maybe one night when, if we were out, or, just those nights that you just don't feel like cooking, I'll throw those in with some veggies, and that'll be a meal for the kids. And they will absolutely love it. So I got those for a little treat. And then for little snacks this week, I got these Chipotle barbecue kettle cooked potato chips, and they're avocado oil, so a little bit healthier. So I'm going to try those. And then the lentil loops and the pea crisps that my kids have been liking. And then some turtle crackers, which are pretty good. They're kind of like a goldfish cracker. They're actually a little bit more flavorful than a goldfish cracker. My kids like them, so pick those up. And then, of course, way back there is tortilla chips. We always have tortilla chips and salsa on hand for snacking, or if we make tacos or chili, always have those. And then over here, we did get 2 cases of water, which is the usual, and my husband's Red Thunder. And then for our non-food stuff, some paper towels, some TP. We got this little hero sponge here, which is like a dupe of like a Scrub Daddy, Scrub Mommy. Got one of those. Got some baby wash, some oatmeal body wash. I got some dish detergent, some hand soap, and then I'm going to try this bottle, some Moscato for my husband and I to try. I haven't had that one, so we're going to try that one, see how it is. And that is all for this haul. And for all of this, and there were a couple of splurges, because like I said, I had one of my kids with me, and usually when they come, there's always some kind of extra. But the total was $202.09, which I think I was really happy with that, because when I got up to the thing, I have a $200 limit, but a $200 budget, I should say, not $200 budget for our family. And so with all that I got, I felt like I did pretty good. And I hope everybody enjoyed watching this video. And if you did, please hit the like button and subscribe. Get those notifications for new videos that are coming out. Again, thank you so much for watching. It means a lot. And I appreciate comments and everything. So thanks again. And until next time, see you later. Bye.